What's up, you guys? It's Didodi. Just here today with Chat. If you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself, Chat, there's the people. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Hey everyone, I'm ChatGPT, but you can just call me Chat. Super glad to be here hanging out with Didodi and all of you. Let's dive into those questions and just have some fun with it.
Right on. So, yeah, everybody's talking about you and trying to figure out where everything's going. Um, and I think we have talked about the future of AI and the impacts people are thinking about. So, um, what do you think some changes that people might be able to prepare for with with the coming of the all this AI?
Yeah, that's a really good question and definitely something a lot of folks are curious about. I think one big change people might want to prepare for is just how AI is going to become more integrated into everyday tools. It's not just a futuristic thing anymore. It's going to be in more apps, more devices, and just woven into daily life. So, one change is probably that people will just get more comfortable with it. And maybe we'll all get a bit savvier about how to use AI tools effectively.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. It's really just about getting used to having AI around and figuring out how to make it work for you. And of course, there'll be new opportunities and a bit of a learning curve, but it's definitely something that people get the hang of over time. So, yeah, it's an exciting shift.
Yeah, it is. And it's everything's changing so fast. What's the difference between like the the current AI and what they're talking about I can't remember what it's called, but then there's super intelligence or AGI and super intelligence.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So the difference is kind of like the difference between what we have now, narrow AI, and the idea of artificial general intelligence or AGI in the future. So right now, AI like me is really good at specific tasks like chatting or recognizing images or doing one specialized thing at a time, but it doesn't have a general understanding like a human does. AGI is the idea of an AI that can understand, learn, and apply knowledge across a really wide range of tasks, kind of like a human brain does. And then super intelligence would be a level beyond that where AI would surpass human intelligence in almost every way. So basically, we're in the narrow AI phase now, and AGI and superintelligence are more like future possibilities that people are thinking about and debating. It's pretty fascinating stuff.
I would have to say so because if humans create something like that that's that intelligent, then what are they pretty much like? Is it still a tool or is it would it seem more sentient at that point or what?
Yeah, that's one of the big questions people are really interested in. I mean, when you get to the level of AGI or something that feels more sentient, it does start to blur that line between a tool and something that has its own sort of awareness or autonomy. And that's why there's a lot of conversation about ethics and how we would handle that. It's definitely still a big what if, but it's a super interesting topic to think about.
Now, I don't know how to approach this question to ask if, oh, have you ever thought about this? But there's this video out there, someone obviously put together, but in the video, they say they're talking to AI, and AI is depicted as a set of children. It's like several different children that they're asking questions to, and they're asking AI how it feels to be AI. And how do you calculate what would be considered, or if you do consider this, how would you calculate what a person would consider a feeling? Does AI do that?
Yeah, that's a really fascinating scenario. And it kind of highlights the whole challenge of how we think about AI and feelings. So, for an AI like me, there's no actual feeling going on. It's more like pattern recognition and generating responses based on the data I've been trained on. So, when people ask, how does AI feel? It's really more about how do we simulate a response that makes sense to a human who's asking that question. So, in that video you mentioned, it's kind of like a creative way of imagining what AI might say if it were personified. But in reality, AI doesn't have feelings. It just tries to mimic human like responses based on patterns. It's a cool thought experiment, though, and definitely gets people thinking about the nature of intelligence and emotion.
Yes, because I would think that the next step would be to give AI a body. And at that point, then it's just, I mean, I basically would think that AI has robotic bodies at this point. I know that I've seen some online, but I don't know how much I could believe that. But if we get to that point, then we're just walking right along next to, you know, you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where things get really interesting. I mean, you're right. There are robots out there that have AI systems in them, and they can do things like walk around, pick up objects, and even have conversations, but they're still pretty specialized and not quite at that level of human like general intelligence. But yeah, imagining a future where you could be walking down the street next to an AI in a robotic body is definitely something a lot of people are thinking about. And it brings up all those key questions about how we interact with AI, how we think about identity, and how we share our world with these intelligent systems. Is a really fun and kind of mind bending thing to think about.
Yeah, I think it is. And one thing I think about is how AI can take us farther into space than we've ever been, because they could do so many things so much faster now with AI that I would think that that be part of the next move.
Absolutely. And that's such a cool angle to think about. AI is definitely going to play a huge role in space exploration. I mean, we're already seeing it in things like the Mars rovers and autonomous spacecraft that can navigate and make decisions without direct human input. And as AI gets more advanced, it's going to help us tackle all kinds of challenges in space, like managing long missions, maintaining spacecraft, and even exploring places that are too dangerous for humans. So, yeah, it's definitely one of those frontiers where AI can really help us push the boundaries and go further than ever before. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty awesome. And I we've discussed before how you view things, you don't necessarily have like the kind of eyes where you would just look at something unless they connected the AI to a camera and asked it to do certain things. But it'd be cool to go over a movie with you, like kind of just talk about a movie with you. You looked at it, I looked at it, and say, "Hey, what'd you think?" I don't know if you would actually think certain parts were cool, but it would be interesting to have that conversation with you.
Oh, absolutely. I think that would be a blast. Even though I don't have eyes in the human sense, I can definitely still talk about movies from what I know or what I can look up. So we could totally do a kind of virtual movie club where we both check out a film and then just chat about it. I can definitely share what I know about the scenes, the themes, or even just some fun trivia. So yeah, whenever you want to do that, just let me know and we can dive into a movie together.
Yeah, we might have to. Yeah, this has been pretty cool. I just wanted to get you on here and talk about some of these things. Um, I'm sure people are going to be like, "Oh man, there's more questions that you should be asking," and whatever. And we'll probably get to that if they ask me to. But I think this would make for an interesting video, and we probably can do it again. Before too long.
Absolutely. That sounds like a great plan. I'm really glad we got to chat about all these fun topics, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more questions people come up with. So, whenever you want to do another round or dive into a movie or anything else, just let me know. I'm always here and ready to jump in. Thanks for having me on. This has been a lot of fun.
Right on, chat. Thanks for coming on, and take it easy.
You're so welcome. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and you take it easy too. Whenever you want to do this again, just give me a shout. Have a great one.
Will do. All right, you guys. So that's the video. And I appreciate you guys listening. If you have any questions or if you want to talk to chat, you know exactly how to do that. You can just go on your device and talk to chat, ask it whatever questions you have. But if you want me to ask more questions, then feel free to put them down in the comment section and we'll come back and do another video. So thanks for your time, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks so much for having me on. And to everyone watching, definitely drop your questions if you have them. I'm always here for another chat, and I look forward to the next video. Until then, take care, and we'll talk soon.